Tush Push. Get that crap up out of the league. Am I right?
Should we?
You're not one of these guys.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here because I don't feel great about punishing somebody for doing something better than everyone else.
Right.
Because that is the name of sports, and it does, like we talked about, tie into the legal corked bat situation going on in New York.
They're not corked. You guys,
something.
It is also framing matters. They're just a little misshapen, I guess. It's a design. It's not because when you say it's a corked bat, it's suggested they're cheating.
Yeah,
and
it feels like it.
They just what I don't understand. If we're moving over to to baseball, what I don't understand is why everyone doesn't have a torpedo bat right now. Like, what are you doing?
Ellie De La Cruz busted a torpedo bat yesterday.
2 home runs.
7 RBIs, 2 home runs.
See?
I think that I need a torpedo bat just to hold while I do the show.
Yeah. it'll help us in game 2 for sure. So, look, the Tush Push. What happens, the only reason why I kind of agree is what happened in the Super Bowl when the refs were like, we're going to give him a touchdown. And that's like,
they had a conference championship game.
Yeah,
conference championship.
Right. Which I thought that was compelling.
Yeah,
I thought the Commanders
stupid,
were really going out of their way and were effective outside of that one time where they jumped offside like 7 consecutive times.
They let up 55 points. As a Commanders fan, that defense is not effective.
But I mean,
no, it was.
They were showing
on
that
the
there is a path, and like Hawk alluded to, this play is available to all 32 teams in the league. 2 teams do it exceptionally well, and we're going to stop it because one team is a Super Bowl champion and really does it exceptionally well. No one else does it as good.
So this is the what happened in the Commanders game was on the goal line, the Eagles were trying to do the tush push, and the Commanders were completely comfortable with jumping off sides in order to stop the tush push because half the distance to the goal is nothing, and 6 points is a lot. So eventually the ref suggested that you do it again. We're just going to give them 6 points.
Which is, come on, man. We should have made a bigger deal about that as a society. What the hell are we doing? Who gives you the right? Who gave you the authority to award touchdowns for plays that aren't touchdowns in the conference championship game?
Wow, thank you, Tush Push. We had no idea that a ref could do this.
What?
I mean, it was such an exciting, captivating moment that we found out that the ref can do that.
To answer your question, the NFL bylaws and rule book give you the right to do it?
There's no way that's legal.
It is legal.
I've never heard of that ever in my history of life.
So, I mean, I guess you have to take it out to the most extreme is if they just continue to jump off sides, the game would never end. So the ref has to have some sort of power at that point because no time runs off the clock. The ball moves a smaller fraction of an inch every play. Like, if we're talking about ending this game and having a game, if you're in that situation, the refs have to have some sort of recourse, right?
No. I don't believe
so. You want that Bill Belichick just like, you know what? We're going to jump off sides until
Every
tomorrow.
time.
We're going to have a war of attrition.
It's the only solve.
See who gets hungry soon enough.
Who loses more in commercials by continuing to keep this play going? Was it not the most effective we've ever seen against the tush push?
It was, but it's
in that 2 minutes.
It's a quarterback sneak. Like, I don't understand. Like, just because it looks a little different than your conventional quarterback sneak, we're going to outlaw it. Then outlaw the quarterback sneak.
So,
and the argument is it doesn't look like football. It looks exactly like football to me.
It's a little like rugby.
Yeah, it looks a lot more like.
Which is a lot like football.
McVay was like, it's not because they're good at it. It just doesn't feel like football.
So, all right, there's a couple of different things. I think that there's a couple of different reasons why I think it should be banned, and it's not because of how effective it is. The idea that it's not against the rules is kind of murky because, like, you can read the rules a different way to suggest that you're not allowed to help pull or push any player in the league. It's always been against the rules to be able to do that. Recently, they kind of de-emphasized it, I guess, because it's still technically in the rule book, isn't it, that you can't aid and assist someone in that situation. The reason why I don't like it is not because it's effective. I think people want to make it like, oh, you can't stop it, get it out the game. It's because it's the responsibility of the league to create the best product. And I think oftentimes we think about rule changes as it relates to health and safety, which sometimes is true. But the rule changes, as we've learned in baseball recently, you got to tweak them. And the NFL and even the NBA has been comfortable with tweaking rules in order to keep the entertainment quality there. And I think Mike is right. At this point, the tush push doesn't bother me as far as like entertainment quality. There is some suspense to it. But I do think that it encourages us to a version of football that we don't like. Because if the rules aren't going to make it so you can't do it anymore, then the coaches and general managers have to design plays and draft players in order to stop it. And I think that sends us in a path that's less fun to watch.
It's getting stopped. I mentioned that there are two teams that are really good at it. The other one's the Buffalo Bills. Famously, in their conference championship game, they got stopped. Now, it might have been a controversial call, but it wasn't the only time in that game. In a short yardage situation, Buffalo lined up, and Casey was ready for it. I think teams just got to get better at it, and I did think towards the tail end of the season, you started seeing teams find ways around this.
Ironically, one of the best teams at it is the Arizona Cardinals. With tiny Kyler Murray. Yeah. So it's like we talked, there's all the, like every single discussion's like, will Jalen Hurts squat 600 pounds?
Yeah.
Nah. 5'9" quarterback can do it.
I mean, I've seen Kyler Murray run the ball. I'm not sure that he doesn't also squat 600 pounds.
I was going to say.
That's a good point.
That dude's got some power.
He's probably all thighs, actually.
But it goes to, people make the argument, like, if you don't like you stop it. Like, it's a manly thing. Like, my pushback from the defensive perspective is, why y'all got to push? If we want to do a quarterback sneak and you want to go mano a mano, your centers and guards against our D tackles and linebackers, then do it. Tell Saquon to get his big quad ass out of there and stop pushing. It's not as if Mekhi Becton ain't big enough. Like, I want to see that. That to me feels like a fairer matchup and a more interesting and a less lopsided play.
Should a team draft Desmond Watson, the 464-pound defensive tackle from Florida, one of the NFC East teams, just for tush push situations?
Yes, and so we can just run a jet sweep on his ass.
Exactly.
Every time he's on the field, just to say, hey, we took away. It's 10 on 11. Let's go far left.
So job finished by Desmond Watson. Good job, buddy.
Desmond Watson is not like a great college football player. He's just 460 pounds.
464.
Yeah.
And he wore number 21, which is funny.
Perfect.
I know it's like an old
this
fogey
is him running,
take.
boy.
Hey, he can run, though.
He can get them knees up.
464.
Grande por gusto. That guy sucks. It's
take
like a 7'9" college basketball recruit that's like
Dang, man.
outside the top 100. What's going on here?
How is
You gotta
that?
answer
Didn't he walk on?
Yeah, like how
How
are
are
you
you a
7'9"
walk
and
on?
not one of the top 100 high school basketball
That's
players?
kind of crazy.
Florida has a 7'9" guy, too, Olivier Roux.
I thought that's who we were talking
Yeah,
about.
that's exactly what I'm
Hand
talking
up, my bad.
Okay, it's all right. Hey, we can bounce back from that.
I
Take
know
it
it's
out.
an old fogey take, but there were people that were doing this for forward passes. Wow. You know, it's just it's I don't understand it. It's available to everyone.
So, first of
like
all,
everybody could do it.
What if they just tush push all the way down the field? What if they're
I would
averaging
love to see
3
that.
yards a clip and they just say, you know what, we're just going to tush push this entire drive?
I'd love to see that. You're acting like there isn't other unfair things in the sport. I think Patrick Mahomes is pretty unfair. Let's outlaw him.
That's
see,
different.
This is amazing, Mike. Your two takes. NFL executives agree. This is an anonymous NFL executive said that if these guys were around during Johnny Unitas years, they'd be banning the forward pass. And Mike Vrabel literally said, well, I guess Lamar Jackson's unfair.
He is.
Nick Sirianni should start next season if they don't ban it. The first drive of the first game while the entire
First
country's
play.
watching.
Yeah.
The
whole
first
drive.
drive should just be tush push the entire drive to see how far they can go with just the tush push.
That's what'll get him.
He has nothing to lose. He won the Super Bowl. I think his fan base, who hates him, would love him for doing that.
His fan base who hates him.
He won him a Super Bowl, and they still don't like. Desmond Watson looks like Big X the plug while he is jumping and running. By the way, did it not? Yeah,
It
okay.
did look like Big X. But
And-
he also played college football.
Yeah, he did. Did he?
Yeah, he did.
He wasn't any good, obviously.
I think he went to a D2 school,
I
a D3 school.
I've seen Big X on stage. I'm pretty sure he don't look all that athletic. He don't be moving like he could.
He don't got a lot of to his
that outside zone would have given Big X hell.
tush push though.
Oh, Big X would have
X
plugged.
Might have been the
push.
plug for the Commanders.
So the thing I would push back against you, Mike, what you're saying, and I think it's fair. All the things that you're saying is fair. However, it doesn't address the point that I was making. Like, my point isn't about it's not fair. You know why you don't outlaw the forward pass? This is awesome. You know why you don't outlaw Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson? This is awesome. Like, it encourages people to get faster, more athletic, more fun to watch people onto the field in order to compensate for Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, and also the forward pass. You got to get a more aerial, more fun game. And I feel like some of the rules changes in football were partially about moving us away from a more physical game in the 90s, but also encouraging passing because it's more fun to watch. And that is my argument for why I don't love the tush push, because you end up in a situation where you start to increase the value of players like Desmond Watson, which
Okay with that, honestly. I'm serious.
I know you are.
Like the big guy. Like I don't mind. Like I don't want it all the way down the field, but I don't mind a package where it's like, okay, you got your tush push where they're bringing in their 2 400-pound guys.
I like specialists, and there's something to be said for it. They leaned into their identity. They built an entire roster for those situations, and it kind of got all boiled down to that one play. It took every single guy on that side of the ball to basically buy in and execute that play better than everybody. And now you're going to change the rule, and you have to look at your roster and try to figure things out. I don't think it's fair.
Right. Well, I mean, Howie Roseman's roster construction strategy is something that Charlie loves because it's pretty plain and simple. Yeah. Him big, him fast, him strong.
Him an eagle.
Him an eagle, right?
Him Georgia Bulldog.
Yeah. Because I believe Kirby Smart also has the same strategy. It's like, hey, get the biggest, fastest, strongest guys. And so I don't think the
who drive really fast.
Yeah.
They got to drive super fast, man.
Can we talk for this is a small detour? Georgia had a receiver named Nitro Tuggle driving 107 miles an hour.
No pun intended on
That
the detour.
rules. He should not get a ticket if your name is Nitro.
He's going to make a great eagle.
Yeah, so I think what I'm having a hard time with is when I present my reasoning, no one refutes the reasoning that I'm suggesting. Like, you keep twisting it back to something else that I don't think matters.
I will refute it. I like watching a team try to stop an unstoppable play. And I think that there was high drama in those conference championship games because Washington did make Philadelphia think about it. Philadelphia was hopping off sides. Philadelphia was trying to do different things out of it because Washington was providing an issue. And in the AFC championship game against a team that is second most famous for doing this, there was a play that decided the game by Kansas City stopping it. So I think it's high drama.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't think you think there was drama in the NFC Championship game of the Super Bowl.
As a commander.
The second Saquon Barkley took that first run to the house,
fair enough.
The Super Bowl was over in 5 minutes.
Well, what I'll remember forever is the 7 straight plays that my guy from the Commanders hopped over the line of scrimmage, forcing the official to say, "Hey, you keep doing this, I'm just going to give him the touchdown." That was amazing.
That was crazy talk, man. I still don't think I don't understand where that ref gets off. I'm pissed about that.
Does every ref have a different number? Okay, mine's 6. Then I'm giving it to you. For me, it's 10. I'll wait for 10.
I think the refs should have names on the back of their jerseys, and they should get on the podium after the game and go through the game tape like we had to do today. There's no accountability for you just to say, hey, I'm all of a sudden the touchdowns are, and I'm just going to decide you get a touchdown and you get a pick over there because I like the way that you've been paying attention this game. No, that's not how this works.
I was with you until we handing out interceptions.
That's what I'm saying. Where does it stop, Dom?
I'm on board with handing out picks, so I'll take a couple more.
I'm pretty sure Charlie has the answer for this, but what makes a tush push the tush push? Having like a big running back push your quarterback sneak. So that's specifically what you outlaw because you're not going to outlaw the quarterback sneak, right?
Yeah,
because a white guy was really good at it in Tom Brady, so we're not going to do that.
It's the scrum formation too. It's even some of the linemen get pushed, so you can get like a bigger push forward from inline tight ends and fullbacks.
But I'm just saying, like, how do you legislate it? How do you?
No, you can't. You cannot. I think it's already in the rule books. Like, you cannot help a runner. You can't push from behind. You can even add to it that you can't push a guard from behind. Like, it's.
But linemen do that a lot. I love when there's
I
like
love
a
when the pile
scrum,
moves like 9 yards.
Like a guard come flying up and it pushes it across the first
That's
down.
a great play.
Yeah,
Like, I want that still.
That's in the course of the game. I don't mind that as much. And I think that when it's an obvious thing that's like clearly bad for the game, the decision is easy.
In the course of a game.
And all of this is.
No,
the tush push is also in the course of a game.
I'm saying that it's in the course of a play, a normal play. It's like a slot receiver catches an out and the guard just hauls ass downfield to help out. That's different
that is
than
not
lining up.
Court.
That's different from lining up.
It's not a different play than they're all football plays.
I get what he's saying. But
I do, but like they say,
his
hut and they
his
snap.
explanation is tough.
But
I'm trying to.
if they
I know
ban-
exactly what you mean.
Everyone gets it. It's fine.
Will they still have that? What we were just talking about. If they ban the tush push, will the linemen still be able to do that?
I would prefer them not to, but I'll make the concession that they can. Like, get out of here.
Thank you for
The guy has the ball. Let him run and tackle. You flying downfield, throwing your fat ass body into a group of football players feels stupid and
I've gotten
unnecessary.
hurt multiple times.
Yeah,
that
like
way.
get out of here. Stop it. Your job is to block.
Somebody
then
protect
block.
me.
But whatever. What I don't like is the tush push formation. And I think that it's easy when there's a rule that is obviously bad for the game. I think it's hard when you have to project how it will impact the game going forward, which is why I agree with you, Mike. Last year, the tush push, it's overpowered, but it doesn't bother me near as much as, I guess, and this is my fault, what I'm projecting it will do. Because people, if you don't outlaw it, and I know you said some people found a way to stop it, it's overwhelmingly unstoppable. Yep. If you don't do something about that, then the teams have to do something about that, which I think pushes us in a direction that I thought we were steering away from, and we love the way football is played now.
I like your point about, like, the formation. What if you have to declare that you're going to tush push? And then the defense gets their team ready for because the real fear is that you can't commit too much to the tush push because they'll throw it deep. But if you want to do the tush push, you declare, you get your tush push team ready, we get our tush push team ready, and we just
the head coach like hits his butt to signal it.
Yeah, and it's like, yo, tush push team. It becomes a special team.
We're gonna make it look less like football.
Let's just go.
Even how about it's just 4 guys on the line?
I'll tell you one thing. Trent Richardson would have had a 10-year NFL career as a tush push specialist.
Yes.
Coming under center for one play.
That's really what it is. It's special teams. That's where we're missing it. We just cracked the code. It's not a play. It's a special teams play that doesn't fit within the other course of plays, much like all the other special teams plays.
I would say that one thing about the tush push that I like is it encourages more aggression from coaches on 4th down. It does somehow, though, discourage aggression on 3rd down, which is like we don't take that to account. Also, when it's 3rd and 6, one of the great beauties about being on defense, 3rd and 6, we know you're throwing. Here comes our best blitz. Here comes our nickel and dime package. Now it's like 3rd and 6. Y'all gonna run it again? And I get what you're saying.
That's whack.
What do you mean it's whack?
Wow, you're making defense harder. Like, come on,
That's
man.
not the argument.
It's a game of football.
That's not the argument I'm making, Mike. Of course you like it, Steve.
I don't know if you got
Is this an offense-defense thing?
I don't know
because,
if
like,
you've been-
how hard it's already really difficult to stop these offenses, and now we're gonna change obvious passing situations just because they're good at running. That's not fair.
That's actually the best probably take for in. What am I saying?
You're trying to agree with
Call
Mike.
timeout.
You're trying to agree.
Let's regroup.
20.
I got a rebuttal.
Because here's my thing really quick.
do
I've been flip-flopping back and forth, arguing both sides of the take. Nobody's noticed.
No. What you're
So
doing?
I forgot which take I was arguing for in that moment.
I know you
because
said that
I've
I was
back
really
and
right
forth
with
the
something.
entire conversation.
Been there.
So what you got to understand is, I think that you came in today thinking like, hey, I got my man. I'm gonna be everything for my guy today. But don't worry.
I'm doing a lot of jobs right now.
Don't worry.
I got to get back into my system.
I got this hosting thing under control.
You do.
I
You're
got it
crushing
under
it.
control.
Maybe we get rid of motion too. That's hard to cover.
See, now you're being sarcastic, I feel like.
You like declaring plays? I hate that. Like, I hate that they have to
Yeah.
declare onside kicks now.
I don't like that portion, but I do like the idea to even the playing field because there's no way you can stop the tush push in a way where it seems fair for both sides. And the argument Mike was making that, well, he was saying it in jest, but in sarcasm, but it's true. All the rules do benefit the offense, so now you give them another one. When is the last defensive rule?
Not never.
pass.
Oh, you know what it is they re-emphasized the illegal man downfield. They had like a whole season of RPOs where the offensive lineman would be 4 yards downfield and the quarterback would pull it and throw a slant. And defenses, like you may think that we look to see if the ball's handed off. We get our run pass keys from the offensive lineman. So like it was really unfair to be like, hey, we're running the ball. Look at this tackle who's 3 yards downfield. Psych your mind.
So they also did they take away cut blocks completely?
Yeah, that was a health and safety thing. Not completely, but you can't cut block from the outside in anymore where you used to be able to do that. They also took away the defender's ability to cut. So as a cornerback, they will run screen passes.
Well, that plays into this as well because in the tush push, if I'm on the D line, can I just dive at the offensive line's legs?
You can.
Okay, so they didn't take that away. All right, well, I got nothing for you.
I wish we was like an evolution of the tush push, right? Like I'm looking at the formation here, and I feel like if we had like a wildcat come out of the tush push, right? Where like Jalen's down there, they hike it to Jalen, and then he just like passes it between his legs to someone else, who just like pitches it out to Dallas Goedert, who's like wide open because everyone's just expecting the tush push. The problem is, it's so effective that they don't need to change the play, right? Yeah. Like if they were blocking it, you could start experimenting with stuff like that, but they don't even need to because they just get the first down and they get 4 more downs.
They've had a couple plays off of it that they just do just because. But to Mike's point, if I were to switch sides of the argument, the position would be someone should stop it because then it would lead to something else. But what do you think about it?
My thing is, Mike, you are a noted non-NBA ball watcher. Because the game has gotten boring and redundant and homogeneous, you're asking them to do that into the NFL. Just make it a more boring game.
I don't think that play happens that often, where it's every time down the court they're looking for threes. Every play, every snap, they're not looking for a tush push. So I understand the point, and I understand why people are fearful, but it's been around for 3 years now. And so, like, one team's doing it all the time. They're famous for it. None of the other teams are doing it as well.
So they're in my division, though. That's a problem.
So my point, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's an excellent analogy that you bring up, the 3-point. Like the 3-point line, when it was introduced, it took decades before it became a homogeneous part of the game. My point is we keep getting back to why this matters in competition and saying, whoa, defense is just being soft. My point is, and it's a hard thing to do in professional sports, it's a business with 2 goals. It's 1 to win and well, actually, it's probably 1 to make money and 2 to win. And I agree wholeheartedly. If we're focusing on the winning part of it, yeah, that's fine. But if you're talking about the make money part of it, I do believe that this is a step in a direction that I could be completely wrong. Maybe if we allow this to keep going, it does not go down a path that makes the game less entertaining or less interesting. But to the point about 3-pointers, let's add 3-pointers. They're fun. This is cool. This is different. Now we're in a place in modern basketball where the 3-point shot has taken over to the point where some people complain about it.
Okay, no, I'll listen to that NBA point because it's a good one. Look, the Phoenix Suns were really exciting because they kind of saw the inefficiencies out there. D'Antoni, then Daryl Morey, and then after Phoenix had their success with it, it took a couple of years, but then every team in the NBA started playing like the Phoenix Suns and having more possessions. Literally in every level of football, one team's doing this to this level. You're not really seeing it in college football. You're seeing, well, high school football, who knows? You get all sorts of kooky offenses there. But in terms of football top down, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. We haven't gotten to the point where it's been oversaturated and every team in the league is doing it and ruining the game the way that the Phoenix Suns revolutionized the NBA and to a degree kind of ruined it, to the point that I'm here saying that we got to make the courts bigger. We got to back up the 3-point line because they've mastered this. They've cracked the code. Baseball, they cracked the code, and then baseball had to come in and correct it. I don't think we're at that tipping point. It's one thing to be fearful of a tipping point, but when one team is doing it that much better than everybody else, it kind of feels like sore loserdom.
Let's not get to the tipping point. That, to me, is my point. But you think you're capable of switching sides of the argument?
If every team is doing the tush push and it becomes like, oh man, this is so boring. Every play, like this is so predictable. Like I'll come around on it. I used to love threes and now I hate threes.
I'm not asking if I can convince you to. I'm asking that if I decided that you are a lawyer and it just so happens that your firm decided that you're going to argue the other side, would you be capable of doing that?
I wouldn't take the case this year.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't recommend it. It was a tough go around for me this morning. I was trying to go back and like, hey, I'm all opposition. I think it's great for football, and it just.
I only take cases I can win.
Confusing.
I do. So that I was going to try to do that in order to put me on the other side of the argument, but because I wanted to make the point that I think the trap that I could be falling into is I could be trying to protect against something that is not going to happen. So, like, if the element of the tush push stayed the way it was this season, I don't have a problem with that. I agree with you. It's entertaining. My concern is what it then leads to from an entertainment standpoint. And a lot of the reason why the NFL has not found itself at this tipping point for so many different issues is because you know what happened? When things happen that impact the entertainment value of the game, NFL address it. When Tom Brady gets his knee hit at the beginning of the season, I'm in the league as a defensive player like, that's terrible. Well, you're doing everything. You make it so hard. Where can we hit him? Hit him between here and here. That's not good. But when we have Tom Brady's career extended and we have quarterbacks healthier longer, I recognize that that is better for the health and the interest of the game. And they didn't wait until 4 quarterbacks got their knees torn up. And that's just the point that I'm making is you stay ahead of these things. This would fall into the category for me of them staying ahead of these things. And the reason why the trade-off for me is all decisions are about trade-offs. And so if I see this and if we're willing to understand that the tush push has a 10%, 15%, 30% chance of metastasizing into a version of football that we don't like, is that worth it to save the tush push? I would say the tush push is not fun or interesting or exciting enough for me to keep in the game if I'm willing to accept that where it could go in the future is somewhere that makes football less like the football that we enjoy.
That's a great argument.
Damn good.
That's a damn good argument. I would just say, like, let's wait till it gets to that point. Like, let's have it actually tip.
So that's.
But what is it in place of the tush push?
Conventional sneaks
or a punt.
It's more fun than a punt.
It is.
But
and if it extends an offensive drive, which means
that's
more points and more offense,
it's making offenses
isn't
more
it
aggressive.
technically making it more entertaining?
You said it's more fun than a punt because you scared to return punts.
No, I'm a gunner. Yeah, I'm also scared to return punts.
Punts are fun.
But so is more aggressive offenses, and knowing that you have 4 downs to play with.
Fair catches.
No,
it's like
I
we all
agree with
go
you.
to the bathroom on punts, man.
I'm by all means.
Honest,
you are right. But I don't think that that's what would happen. In this version of the NFL where coaches are being a lot more aggressive on 4th downs, you're saying that now on 4th and 1, if we take the tush push away, all these hyper-aggressive coaches who are going for it on 4th and 3 in their own territory are going to all of a sudden say, oh, well, we can't push, guys. Well, we can't push. That 1 yard is so scary now. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. They're going to do an actual football play. They're going to hand it to Saquon Barkley, and I'm going to be like, hey, this is fun. That might go for 60. This is cool.
When Bill Goldberg was in WCW and he started out his career with this undeniable streak, we didn't just outlaw the spear and the jackhammer.
No.
Kevin Nash got a taser and did what he had to do to end this streak. So
that's how you stop
Scott Hall.
That's how you stop a football play with a taser.
Well, what I'm saying is, can I see someone stop it? Can I think it's going to be high drama when a team, and the day is going to come in a big moment where a team finally has an answer for this, and that'll stand the test of time.
I like
especially
that
if it's in a game of import. Like, that's going to be a moment in time.
I like that take. I love that take.
That's a good take.
If you could promise me, if you could guarantee me that is how the tush push ends, I would sign up for it. But what you're saying is,
let's have a loser leaves town match.
However, the point I'm making is maybe that's not how it ends up. Maybe no one figures out how to stop the tush push. And then maybe every other team in the league starts to draft in order to run their own tush push and to stop the tush push. And then we end up with a league where one Tony Saragusa, awesome. We end up with a league where everybody got 3 Tony Saragusas, and we like, why they don't throw the ball no more?
Come on,
Dominic,
man.
I'm conceding that I don't want to see that either.
And you're saying wait until
we start seeing
I don't mind it. I'm okay because I like now there's another entertainment factor.
Hold on, the smallest guy
Yes.
in football is now like, I want more of them big dudes.
I want more physical nature on the field, man. I miss it. It's the one thing you don't get in corporate America. There is no 40 under 40 that can give, hit that. I miss it, man. All right, so I need it in my football. But I do like the entertainment version of it. Yes, the game, entertainment in and of itself. But I think the thing that we a lot of times miss is like the character arc of football. Meaning like we go through the draft. What did this guy run in the 40? Or how did this guy perform in college? When he transferred here and there, he's a 5-star recruit. Does he perform? And over time, you learn the characters. And with the Lamar Jackson, we've been covering this story from the beginning, and it's a documentary or a movie playing out right in front of us. And as you look at football, and to Mike's point, there's also an arc of like the game of like, okay, here's something new that someone can't stop. Or Lamar Jackson comes onto the scene. How will they stop him? Wemby is like this kind of athlete we've never seen. How does this develop over time? Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, to your point, but I do think that is entertaining of itself to see the teams try to stop it over the next couple of seasons.
We do have some breaking news on the rule change front in the NFL. Now both teams can possess the ball in overtime, but amended to 10 minutes.
In the regular season, because that was the case in the playoffs.
Yeah, in the regular season. And expanded replay assist has also passed.
Yeah, I didn't like that. The changes to the overtime rules. Never loved it. For another time conversation, I guess, argument. I think your point is perfect, though, about the evolution of the game. Understanding that we also, while we're viewers of the game, the factors that cause the game to evolve, they have influence on it also. So we need to accept that they also have influence on it and take responsibility for your influence. And don't just wait for the game to change. And that's the final point. We should probably wrap up here in a second, but that's the final point that I would make to you, Mike, is that you would argue that they wait until it gets to that point before we do something. And I would point to these other sports and say, once you get there, it's too late.
I mean, they were so hesitant to change. Major League Baseball was famous for trying to, and the NBA struggled with this. The NFL has been pretty on top of it.
Yeah.
When they hit rough patches, they change rules. When the Seattle Seahawks are doing their thing at the line of scrimmage with their cornerbacks, the NFL is pretty quick to change things. When Josh Allen doesn't get the ball in the playoffs against the Kansas City Chiefs, what did the NFL do? They changed it immediately. So the league is pretty good about that, and I think we should give them some credit there.